Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Graylan Stewart, and I am a virtual wholesaler and entrepreneur. We wholesale all over the United States, but we do focus on a couple of specific areas to get most of our deals. But if you want to learn about wholesaling, this is the right channel. So I'm glad you made it here. Thanks for joining in. Please like this content if you find it valuable, and also I'd love to have you as a subscriber if you don't mind. But today I'm actually going to talk about 7 actual steps in getting your first deal in 30 days or less. And yes, it is possible because I did it myself, and I know a bunch of people have. And there's people that it's taken a couple of years to get a deal. But if you follow these 7 steps, I promise you will get a deal in 30 days or less, okay? So let's dive into it. So I've got a little list here, so I'm going to refer to that. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing, okay? So obviously, the first thing you do in your 7 steps is you got to get a list. You got to find a motivated seller, okay? So how do you do that? So like I said, you can get a list, whether you purchase that. You can actually go to purchase that on PropStream, or you could get it on ListSource, or there's all kinds of different list providers out there where you could buy a list. So if you've got a little bit of money, that's the faster way to kind of get that list, is to buy one. Now, if you don't have a lot of money, go drive around the distressed areas in your community and write addresses down. So what you want to do is you want to have a couple of hundred of these at least. But if you drive around for a couple of hours a day, within a week even, you could probably get a couple hundred addresses pretty easily. So what you want to do, you want to look for these just distressed homes. It doesn't necessarily mean that a seller is distressed, but it's a good indication that they might be. So what you're looking for are some of the roofs that are maybe in terrible shape, the siding maybe hanging off, broken windows, maybe boarded up window, maybe boarded up doors even, or maybe it's all boarded up in general. Or you're looking for overgrown landscaping or grass, potentially a bunch of mail hanging out of the mailboxes, all the things like that kind of look like signs of distress or abandonment. Sometimes you can just tell if they're vacant or not. Also, sometimes they'll have, beat up cars or more than one in the driveway, maybe up on blocks even in a lot of cases. So the point is, you got to get a list of distressed sellers, okay? So that's step number 1. Find your list, whether you buy it or you get it yourself, okay? Step number 2, you got to market to that list like crazy, okay? Now, you got to choose what kind of marketing you want to do, whether that's, texting or cold calling or ringless voicemail or direct mail. Whatever your choice is, you got to do it consistently, okay? So what does that look like? Let's just say that you chose cold calling, okay? So you need to cold call probably for 3 or 4 hours every single day. Once you get that list, get the phone numbers, get it skip trace and all that. That's still step 1. But step 2, you got to market that list. So if you're cold calling, do it religiously. Do it every single day, at least 5 days a week, if not 6 days a week. Maybe you can skip Sunday. But you got to call that list like crazy, okay? 3 or 4 hours a day minimum if you actually want to be successful. And don't worry about a script. Just have a conversation with people. It's not that difficult. Don't overthink it. A lot of people try to say you have to have all these things set up to get a deal. That's not true. Just have a conversation with somebody and talk to them about their house and just ask them what's going on. See if they're interested in possibly selling, okay? So the next list, so that was step 2, market to the list like crazy. Now step 3 is follow up on that list like a madman or a mad woman, okay? Whatever it is. But you have to follow up because the money is in the follow-up. I've done a video on that, and it is so true. It's very rare, if you ever get a deal on the first call or the first contact that you talk to someone. It's super rare. Even in 3 or 4 contacts, it's really rare. So I'll tell you that most salespeople give up after 3 or 4 or 5 times, and that's exactly what separates a good salesperson from somebody at the next level, somebody excellent, is because they followed up more than 5 times. It typically takes, standard just for any kind of sales, and wholesaling is sales. You're selling yourself and your services to these distressed homeowners. So Typical standards, across the board on all sales is it takes 10 to 12 contacts before you actually get a deal or before you actually sell something. So in our case, it's before you get a deal. So you have to follow up like a madman or a madwoman, okay? Follow up is everything. So do it all the time, okay? So that is step 3, okay? Step 4, after you follow up, you're going to have a ton of people interested. So get the contract. Now you're going to say, oh, I don't have a contract. Who cares? Write it on a napkin. Write it on a piece of paper. All you have to have is something stating that you or your company, and you don't have to have a company, so don't let that slow you down either. The whole key in all this is taking action, okay? So all you have to have is a contract that says you are buying so-and-so's house located at whatever for X amount of dollars. And you're putting up, $100 in earnest money or whatever it is, $10, it doesn't matter. You're going to put up earnest money at this title company. You go turn that piece of paper in after they sign it and you sign it to the title company, and they're going to take that. That's a contract, okay? Whether it's professional, whether you've got one figured out, none of that crap matters, okay? Just get the contract, okay? Because massive follow-up is going to equal contracts, I promise. All right, so step 5 is reach out to buyers. Now, how do you do that? The easiest way to do it is you can post that deal. Now, be careful. You don't want to post your address, but you do want to post your deal on Facebook groups like local investor, wholesaler type Facebook groups, or even on Craigslist, just say, or even on Facebook Marketplace, just say, hey, I've got an off-market property located on, whatever major intersection that it's closest to. So I've got an off-market property located on, Denver and Alameda or whatever. If you're interested, let me know. The ARV is 150,000 and we're selling it for 75. It needs 30 in repairs. Just say something real basic like that. You're going to get a ton of response. So be ready for the response, and then after that you're just talking to buyers at this point, like who wants to pay for this and who wants to possibly even bid it up, depending on how you price it and how you do it. But the point is, don't let the analysis paralysis slow you down or stop you. Just market that to buyers. When you get some interest, just talk to them, whether you're talking on Facebook or give them your phone number, through Messenger. But I will stress, do not give the address out, publicly. It's okay to give it to them, once you have, on Messenger or something like that. So anyways, so that is step 5, reach out to buyers on Facebook or Craigslist, okay? Because those are just the easiest and quickest way when you don't have a list already, okay? All right, step 6, now get the deal assigned. And it's the same thing. I don't have an assignment contract. So what? Don't let that stop you. Just write it on paper. And usually your buyer probably has one anyways. Just say, hey, do you have one? I'm still figuring this out and pretty new at this. Can I use your contract? Can you just email me a blank one? And they will, because they want to get the deal. But just keep in mind, you want to be the one that fills it out because you're kind of calling the shots because it's your deal, okay? So just get the contract. If it's a piece of paper, that's fine. It doesn't have to be crazy professional. All you got to say on there is, hey, so-and-so buyer agrees to purchase such and such property from yourself and the original buyer or original seller, and they are paying a total amount of whatever the price you agree on. Not the price you got it for, but the price the buyer is paying, okay? And then you both sign it. Then you send that contract to the title company, and that's pretty simple. So the title company knows, okay, well, the buyer's paying this, and they got their contract for this. So obviously, the in-between is your assignment fee, okay? So just keep it simple. That's an easy way to do it. You don't have to have all these crazy things, okay? Just get the assignment contract, okay? Step 7 is the final step in this whole process because you've already done the work. You've got the list of people. You've marketed that list like crazy. You followed up like a madman or madwoman, and then you reached out to, or you got the contract. Then you reached out to buyers on Facebook, and then you got the assignment contract. Now, step 7 is the best part. You get paid. You wait till the closing date and make sure everything is, going smoothly. So you want to communicate with the seller, communicate with the buyer, communicate with your escrow officer or your attorney, whatever state you're in, the title company or attorney, and then just wait for the closing date, and then you get paid. That's the best part about this whole thing. Like I said, that price in the middle is what you get. So if you sold the thing for 85 and maybe you got it for 75, then you made $10,000, and it's that simple. And yes, you really can do these 7 steps and get a deal in 30 days, okay? Maybe you won't get paid within 30 days. You can, because I actually did. I from the date that I got my first deal to when I closed it, it was actually less than 30 days. So that is possible as well. But who cares? We're not talking about getting paid in 30 days. We're talking about just getting the deal. You can definitely get a deal in 30 days if you do those first 6 out of those 7 steps for sure. Get the list of distressed owners, whether you make it or you pay for it, okay? Market that list like crazy. Follow up like a madman or madwoman on that list like crazy. Get the contract with the seller, okay? Reach out to buyers on Facebook or Marketplace or Craigslist, and then get the assignment contract. It is really that simple. Yes, it takes work. If this was easy, everyone would do it, okay? But you can do it. It is that simple. You can get a deal in 30 days or less. Just follow the steps. I promise you'll make it. All right? So hopefully all that makes sense. I hope that was beneficial to you. Please like, subscribe, share. I'd love to see your comments, what you think about this. If you think I'm crazy, if you think it's great, let me know. You know, either way, I'm good with it. I've got thick skin. Of course, if you have to have thick skin in sales. Okay, that's just the way it is. So buckle up and be tough in all that you do. So, anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in future videos. Thanks a lot. See ya.